Welcome back to Well Above the Rim. Well Above the Rim is a podcast that dives into the worlds of basketball, sports, and everything that revolves around them. In order to start this season right, we're joined today by one of the most interesting sports people in Switzerland, Vid Milenkovic. He played D3 college in the US at Wisconsin Superior, and he left his mark by scoring at a total of 1,000 points in only 3 years. He came back home last year and was a fundamental piece to a Starwings team that was one win away of becoming the first Swiss national champions. He's the co-founder of BÖLLE ISCH LEBE, one of the biggest basketball movements in Switzerland right now. This season, he signed with the Geneva Lions as the next step to his already amazing career. I'm very excited to have you here, Vid. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to do this podcast with you, and I hope we can inspire a lot of people to listen and follow you on your journey.
How are you, man? How has been 2020, 2021 treating you so far?
I mean, good. I'm currently in Geneva, like you said, just going through the grind over here, still trying to adapt to the new situation and, trying to fit in, and then hopefully soon enough, we can start really becoming a great team. And I really want to win this year because last year I was so close. So yeah, we really have a chance. So I'm very excited. And yeah, life is good. I can't complain.
All right, I'm happy for you. Let's start with more of your recent news. How are you finding yourself in playing for the Geneva Lions? And what has the offseason been like for you? And what can you tell me about this very young 2021-2022 season?
It's been a new challenge, and like expected, I was not going to have the same role as I had in Starwings, but I think I'm cool with this because it drives me. I think Charles Barkley, he always said, like, you become good at some level and then you go to the next level and you're at the bottom again. So I'm back here trying to, fight for my spot and be the best player I can be on this team. But it has been great. I mean, I really can't complain, like I said. And I think I had a good off-season to prepare myself physically and mentally for this new challenge. And now it's just time to find the best opportunities and use them.
Absolutely. Going back to before you signed, where was Starwings, and were you surprised about going away from Starwings, or was it already that you guys were mutually agreed upon?
Some sides were definitely sad to see me go. I was very sad too because I love the team and everything. I mean, I don't know if you watched the finals, but I was really emotional when we lost because I knew the chances of bringing everybody back are very slim, and we had such a great group and chemistry. So I was very sad about that. And of course, the president and the coach, they were on my side, and so there were sad people. But they all respected my decision, and I'm an athlete. I'm a competitive person, so I want to take the next challenge. And I can always go back to Basel, and so I had to. I'm not the youngest anymore, also, so for me it was a no-brainer to go to Geneva.
Sometimes you just gotta go. You were already in a good position if you think about it. In Basel, you played in the finals in your first year, which was crazy. It was, if you played basketball in Switzerland, it was already a completely crazy story to hear about. Let's get on to that crunchy part of your story, the one that I know a lot of people want to hear about. So run me through your Cinderella run last year with your team. What was your team's mindset? What was the energy like? Can you run me through the whole season, basically?
Okay, so season starts, and I'm coming back from college. I know it was D3, but even at the NCAA Division 3 school, you have athletic trainers, physical therapists, you have a strength coach, you have a weight room, you have great facilities, you have multiple coaches, you have nutrition, you have a team boss, you have all these things. So we arrive at Starwings, and I'm like, okay, that's new. It's a bit different, you don't really have all this facilities and the same benefits, but for me it doesn't matter. I mean, I played in Serie B before and I see how the kids play there, so just give me a court and a basketball and we'll do the rest. But of course for the American players this was very different because they expected the professional level, and you could say in some people's eyes it's not really the most professional organization. And so that was new. And then, we would practice in like a high school gym where the 3-point line was closer and smaller court. The rims were weird. And we only played at our home gym or practiced twice a week. So it was just these different things that were new.
It's that Swiss German part of the basketball life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Swiss Central is, but that was a bit weird. But I realized quickly that the guys on the team are very good guys. There was two guys that were rookies from the US, Matt Millen and DeAndre Burns, and then Nathan Krill. He's very young too, but he played a year before. So like these guys and me and Sebastian and Kostic and Ilya, I mean, I felt like I'm in college without school. We played 2K video games. Just the camaraderie was nice. But at the beginning of the year, we didn't really win a lot. Vranic got hurt, and it was really like a shitty season, to be honest, because maybe Starwings organization did expect more because they had 4 foreigners for the first time, I think, in a longer time. Coach was very ambitious at the beginning, but then everything like started not falling apart, but people are like, maybe this is not the year, and so on. So we were just trying to finish the season healthy, do our thing, stay professional. And and then I know unfortunately Kostic, the captain, got hurt too. And then, people were really like, all right, this is it. Because in the beginning for me, I was more a role player. I was just there to, play hard defense and make open shots and not really create or look, for my shots or anything like this. And then with the injury of Kostic, I remember coach texted me, he's like, hey, you have to, run point guard. So remember
your chance now.
Yeah, basically it was my chance. And I mean, I always knew I can do these things. Like I was never surprised, I mean, I think I'm a smart player and I can adapt pretty fast. And then maybe it was my size at this position. I don't know what it was, but we started winning a couple games. I think we won the first game against Neuchâtel. I had a double-double, which was weird. I mean, surprisingly. Like first game point guard, and then you have 11 points, 11 rebounds. And then, I think we...
No assists?
No, of course, couple assists. Triple-double, but... so I was like, oh shit, like I'm getting confidence. And then I think we beat Lugano in the Swiss Cup, the Cup semifinals, the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And also with me at this position, and we beat Boncourt. So we had slowly we were winning more games than before. But still everybody was like, oh, whatever, let's just see where we place in the playoffs, and that's it. But I was really enjoying this because I was creating, I was playing a lot, and I knew there's no substitutions, but ultimate freedom, Plus coach was really supporting me because I was doing good, so he was on my side. And also got the respect from the teammates. They were saying, oh my God, you're doing incredible, you're doing great. People were asking, why didn't I do this before, and so on. But it is what it is.
You didn't get the chance. It's you're like, I've been knowing I'm able to do this, but now I can do it.
And I think it's so much with opportunity, If you have someone like a coach who tells you, hey, you and DeAndre, only you two run pick and roll and create. I mean, it opens so much more than having to prove yourself going against the system, going against the coach. Like if I would have tried to do this in October, I mean, if I do one bad mistake, coach would yell at me, But fair enough, because he had another system. He was, Kostic, and
of course.
So anyway, so that kind of changed, and we were having more fun, I guess, because on the court, and then we also saw that we can compete with better teams. I think with Fribourg, we lost, a couple of times by like 8 or 12. Geneva, it was pretty close. Beat Neuchâtel on the crazy buzzer beater with Nathan Krill, and then it was playoffs, And then, unfortunately, I think we lost the away game in Lugano, which we didn't really perform well, and then that put us at 8th spot. So for us, Geneva was the better matchup than Fribourg. We were hoping to be either Massagno or Geneva, not Fribourg, and just because of their size and the big rotation. And so we go into the playoff series against Geneva, but still very pessimistically. Like we were saying, like, let's just have fun. Let's have fun. This is probably our last 2 games with this roster, and I love all of you. You guys are my brothers. I brought him to Zurich many times, and we still stay in touch now. We want to go to Cyprus and see Burns and Krill and meet with Milan. I mean, Matt worked at my camp. We're really like together as a real brotherhood. So that was the mindset. Nobody was like, dude, we can beat them. Like, nobody was this. The locker room was just, let's have fun. No pressure on us. Let's compete. Let's try our best, and see what happens. First game we get smacked, and then we said, dude, come on, our home game, let's do some adjustments. So we decided to go more into a zone. Also, especially watch out for Kovac. So a little box and one we did with him. And I remember we were there. It's like third quarter, still close game. Fourth quarter, I'm like, shit, we might
win this.
Yeah, we might win this, because I saw
I love it.
The eyes of the Geneva players. There wasn't really this like, oh, now they're gonna. So I was like, oh, we might have a chance. I didn't play my best game there. I mean, I had, I think, 10, 11 points, but I had a bad turnover. I missed a couple of clutch free throws. But so did Dirksen. And then I think DeAndre makes a crazy layup. And then Kovac missed the 3. And then we're like, holy shit, we're 1-1, So we tied the series. And I know some Americans, they're like, come on, man, I want to go home. Like, they're all tired of Switzerland and COVID and, every of Basel, because there's no clubs, no anything.
Yeah.
So we were joking and saying like, damn, now we have to stay one more game, one more practice. But still, we go into the last game thinking, hey, again, let's try our best.
Do your best. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have fun. This is playoff basketball.
Do you guys ever feel like you were underdogs, or was it just always just trying your best? Never feeling that.
No, all the time.
Underdogs.
We knew that nobody's gonna be like, what the fuck? How did you guys lose? We had no pressure. Yeah. We knew nobody expects us to win.
Did that motivate you guys?
No, what motivated us was just us, like just the team itself. It wasn't like, oh, I want to prove people wrong. That wasn't really the drive, because we all knew that we can play against them individually. But if you know that we only had 6 players and we had no rotation and we only practiced 3 against 3 for like 3 months, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no point of us being like, oh, yeah, I want to prove them wrong, because dude, it's almost impossible with the circumstances we were dealing with.
Yeah, of course. And COVID and everything I'm sure it has a whole other story behind it. Everyone trying to keep in shape and then coming back.
Yeah, 2 times
slowly
in isolation and so on,
Yeah.
But yeah, so to wrap this up, and then this game starts, and I remember I started the game very exhausted because I played 40 minutes. So I'm like, okay, let me just get into my own rhythm slowly. So I think I had like 0 points the first half, and then maybe a 3 in the third quarter. And there's some big points. I think I made a big 3, like 3 minutes left, and then I pull up jumper with maybe 1 minute. And then Dirksen makes a and 1, and then Matt hits the crazy buzzer beater to send it. And then I was like, oh, I knew when he made this shot, because we knew the winner is going to play Neuchâtel. And we knew we're beating Neuchâtel for sure. That's where we didn't think we're underdogs. That's where like, oh, y'all in trouble. Like, Neuchâtel is in trouble. Because as soon as he made that shot, me and DeAndre were talking. I was like, we're going to the finals. Like, there's no way. Because now you can taste it. Like, now you're hungry, Like, now you're like, oh, I tasted blood. So now you become this, I want to prove everybody and I want to kill. And this is how we went. I mean, it was difficult game in Neuchâtel. It was close. But then at home, it was just a demolition. And then you get to Fribourg. And then for us, it was like our job was done. For us.
All right, you
know what I mean?
The history was made.
Yeah, and like, Fribourg is going to be at your neck 24/7. And we're exhausted. I remember me and Sebastian, we played, what was that? 5 games of 200 minutes, no break, And so, there were maybe some tactical mistakes against Fribourg in the second game where Vranic and Kostic played again, which some of us said maybe they shouldn't have because it changed the rhythm. But this is all hypothetical. If. But I think we put on a show. We fought. That the home game was close, and even the away game, I think the last 50 seconds was close. Game 3 in Fribourg, and they got our respect. This is what I wanted. Coach Alexic, he told me, like, you guys are incredible warriors. That's all that mattered. We fought. We lost with pride, and the rest was history.
And got to the finals.
Correct.
That was the first finals appearance of Basel, right?
First of Basel and any Swiss German-speaking team.
So, let's bring it back to your Wisconsin Superior days. I know you dealt with injuries, but still were able to have a successful career overall. So what are the things that you drew from your career, from your college experience, basically?
College was great, even with the 2, injuries, the ACLs and everything. I would do everything the same. They welcomed me with a warm heart. They supported me in the darkest times of my career or in my life. I love the coach, everything, the school. I'm still in touch with them, and I think it helped me so much as a human, as a man, to grow, just to learn a different culture, to be independent. No, I wouldn't change a damn thing. I think it was the best life experience for me, and so many lessons I took from there, which I'm very grateful for. And I'm very proud that I did the things that I did there. And I'm also very happy that I have still a great relationship with everybody that I've met there. So,
Was it a plan of yours to get to 1,000 points, or did it just come like that?
That's a good question. I think it became a goal like my senior year, because then I did the math and I was like, okay, I have to average like 13 points per game. So I was like, okay. And then I remember like the last 10 games, I was like, oh, I can definitely get it.
Yeah.
And I think I needed 26 in this one game, and I had like 27, and my teammates were all like pushing for it. That was pretty cool. Yeah. And then that was
padding those stats.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was a great moment. And but it wasn't my goal when I was there, my freshman or sophomore or junior year. I mean, I was just happy to be able to play the game again.
I saw some kind of growth from you from like your freshman year to your sophomore year, and then in the end to your senior year. So you started averaging like 7 points, and then you upped it up for like 10 points, then 14, and then in the end you had 17 points a game, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, my freshman year, I didn't really play. I really had to just work. So my freshman year, I think I made 1 3 in the whole season. And so, and then coach told me, you need to slim down, you need to be more athletic, blah, blah, blah. So my sophomore year, I played more. And then my sophomore year, I think I averaged like, 7.5 or 8. And then my junior year, I averaged, like you said, 14. And then my senior year, 17. So then to get to 1,000, you just need 10 per season in 4 years, or in 3 years, you just need to average a bit more in your, junior and senior years.
This is something that I like to talk about with like all my guests, a little bit about like their struggle, their injuries and everything. And I don't want to go too much into it, but just tell me, what have you learned from your injuries overall? And of course, dealing with ACL is no easy feat. So is there something that you learned from just dealing with those injuries?
I mean, of course, to be grateful, to be able to just play the game. Even today, I mean, or in general, like this season, or whenever like a coach yells at me or a teammate is not happy or a missed shot, anything is better than being hurt and then being in your bed alone and not being able. So you just really become humble. You appreciate everything, the whole game, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so that has been huge, like whenever I have a bad game, I can just be like, dude, come on, it's still better than,
Yeah.
being injured. So yeah, I think it's a great great tool to have for your mind, because it can just remind you that you know what you went through, and anything is better than that. So just stay positive, stay happy. And yeah, and of course it made me like tougher too, because I know what I've been through twice. And you know, we're athletes, we compete, we compare ourselves to others. So I can always be like, oh, I don't know how many people did that or could do that. So
Yeah,
there's something.
you're quite the I person. I follow you on Instagram, and some of your posts you said you're a proud person of what you've accomplished. And that's something I can draw from you. So
Yeah,
is
well, I
that
mean,
yeah.
you have to, you know. I mean, I think if you know who David Goggins is, he calls it cookie jar. So everything you have accomplished, put it back in your cookie jar, and then whenever you doubt yourself, you just look back, like, oh, I did this, I did that, you know, these things to keep motivating or pushing yourself. So I think that's huge, you know, with these injuries, like it just makes me way tougher. And yeah, I mean, it I mean, I don't know, it's like a blessing, even though you could say it
Yeah.
isn't.
It's you could say there's like everything, there's negatives, positives, so of course you have to learn from it. I want to ask you what motivates you as a basketball player, even as a person. I know you're quite the entrepreneur in like the world of basketball, and
That sounds
so
nasty.
so either way, you're not an entrepreneur. Let's say you have your hands in different pots. So what motivates you?
We just have to give life purpose, otherwise it's going to be so boring, you know. Whatever it is, whatever you want to do, and if you're passionate about something, you know, my goals are, you know, to be the best basketball player I can be, and to help my hometown, or Switzerland, or the Swiss German part, to you know, to enjoy the sport, because I think it's a really beautiful sport, and it can teach you many lessons in life. And
Of
so
course.
that's just some things I told myself that like I would be very happy to contribute to and chase. And that's really what motivates me.
That's perfect. And it's a perfect segue in what I want to talk about next, which is your brand, BÖLLE ISCH LEBE. Please, let me know how it started. I know you're basically the co-founder. And yeah, just run me through the whole story. I know you've been to Guinea and you had this whole big Guinea project of building a court there and just giving back to the community. So go ahead.
All right. So BÖLLE is like, what is it now? More than
It's a
like
movement.
a year. Yeah, it's become a good community, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of basketball people, they follow us, they check out our content, they like it, they enjoy it. So we're definitely going to keep doing this. But to your question, how it started, so let me think. So it was 2020, Corona hits, my season's over at college last season, my last year in college. COVID hits, and our school decides to go online, you know, because they don't want students on campus. So I'm like, oh shit, there's a pandemic, everything's online, I'm going home. If I want to, you know, I want to survive the pandemic with my family and closest friends. So I decided to go home in March. Yeah, so I leave the US, but thinking like, oh, this is like swine flu, you know, everything will be fine in like 3 weeks, I'll be back. So I didn't even really say bye with my American friends and my coach. I said, dude, we'll see each other in May for graduation, everything will be fine. Well, clearly didn't. So I leave there, and then it's lockdown in Switzerland. You know, you can't meet more than 5 people, and everything's closed. Really weird times, because I was still in like basically season shape, just finished like maybe 3 weeks ago. So I had all this energy, you know, and so me and my friend were doing different challenges. We like run 30 kilometers just for fun, because we were so bored, there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
And then we would like hang out a lot together. And I was already in the setup for my, that was my 3rd camp. At this time, I was doing the camps by myself. So I was already planning that. And then me and my buddy who works, Malik, the co-partner, future co-partner, we're just, brainstorming like how we can maybe expand the camp, how can we maybe do things, maybe force people to be more united through basketball, to
Yeah,
make
absolutely.
events. We're maybe talking about 3-on-3, 5-on-5 tournaments in Zurich, stuff like that. And then we agreed like, oh, maybe we need like a platform, like a community, everybody can be like, oh, this is this, this term that unites basketball with Zurich at this time. So we picked this word, Bölle, because it means ball in Zurich German, actually, because I know in Bern it means onion, so it's a bit weird. But yeah, so that was basically it. And then we started with, just some random court trick shots and full court shots around Zurich, some courts, and yeah, people were digging it. They were liking it. They thought it was funny. We do a lot of memes, just really shy. We weren't gonna pay anybody to do marketing.
Of course, yeah.
It was just like, let's see where it goes. And, we started this, and then the camp came along. And then we thought like, oh, maybe because we really like the camp t-shirts, it was good material. So we thought like we will, just see if people would like buy it for fun and support us. And then with the sales going on and everything, we're like, dude, we need to use this to give back or to help where help is really needed. So we organized or planned the Guinea project, which, as you said, to build a new court for this school there. And of course, it's not a lot. It's not going to change anything, but it's still better than not doing anything.
Of course, yeah.
You can put a smile on someone who doesn't really have a lot in life. I think it's a great thing to do, especially for people from Switzerland, which we have everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that came along, and then just random things, like online contests, the podcast we started, and so on. And yeah, the reaction was always positive. People were giving their ideas, their input, and they were just loving it because I think it was something new and it was authentic. It's really just basically me and him. Like, this is pretending to be other things. Also, the humor is, we are very sarcastic, and so it's just this is Bölle. This is what it is. It should be coming out from Zurich. It shouldn't be like Nike trying to do things here. And yeah, now we're so deep inside that we can't and don't want to stop. And yeah, we're excited to see where things going from now.
Of course, you said like the community and everything, but do you now consider yourselves ambassadors for basketball in Zurich and like actually just the Swiss German part?
I mean, ambassadors, I don't know. We haven't really done too much of like basketball promotion. Of course, we run the camps and but we haven't really been working like with the leagues, with Pro Basket or Swiss Basketball, where we're like, hey, everybody, let's go to these games and stuff, which maybe we might at some point, or go like record, talents and stuff like this, like actual Ball is Life is doing, These are all ideas, but I wouldn't say like we're here like ambassadors of the sport. I would say it's just, we are promoting the sport for sure. We just want people in the German-speaking part to be like, oh yeah, basketball is cool. Oh, there is clubs, events, contests where they can go and see and experience it, And then if that we can do this, then we're happy.
Yeah. So would you say, like, how do you, I don't know if you think of BÖLLE ISCH LEBE as a brand or as a movement. I call it a movement, but I don't know what you studied necessarily. I saw that you have some, on your website, you have some marketing people that have studied economics and stuff like that. So do you take care of it like on a professional level, or is it still yet on the stage of, all right, let's see what works, let's see what doesn't, and then from there we'll decide what to do? To
be honest, it's still like this. I mean, I have studied sports management, but I don't think I've used anything I have learned. Like, I have never done like I don't even know what the term is, like the 3 M's for marketing or whatever. Like, I don't have that.
You mean the 4 P's for the marketing mix?
Yeah, for example. See, I don't even know. Yeah,
I mean, I'm studying economics and management, so I know a little bit of what you're
There you go.
saying.
It also has been a while for me, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Ever used any or like even some kind of like pyramids to do? I've never not used any. Just go with the flow. Also, social media, we had no idea. You know, it was more like learning by doing, and you know, it's like art. Like anything you create, you know, it's part of you, and then the receiver can decide if he likes it or not, and then you go by that. You know, and so far people were really like on the good side. So we're just going to continue like this. Of course, we have made adjustments like changing the websites and maybe hiring a guy there to help us and so on. But other than that, you know, yeah, there's maybe more professional things like having a credit card where we can pay stuff through BÖLLE and things like this, but not like hiring an accountant and setting a meeting every week. You know, there's nothing like this.
Okay, it's still very new. Is it something that you would like to do in the future if it gets big enough, or do you still want it to be more of a homemade thing?
No, we definitely want growth. I mean, because it is growing automatically. So why would we stop? We're very proud of it too, because it's like our little baby, you know. So we want to make sure we raise it well and then see where it goes, because the potential is so big, you know. It really doesn't exist. And the camp, I mean, if you look at the numbers from the camp, we started with 20 kids, and then 50, 75, and then this summer 100. So, you know, and then we did October now, which is new, and we did last spring. So it's just, you know, a lot of potential. The parents are happy, we are happy, and you know, the community too. I wish I had more time to do more things.
Of course,
If I would be in Zurich, I could be like, hey guys, on Sunday I'll be training, come by, maybe we can work out together, you know, be more engaged.
Absolutely.
With the city itself, you know. Luckily, you know, through social media, you can be relatively close, and, you know, you can do contests online and stuff like this, or like actual events, which we would love to do more, you know, like just organize random pickups and stuff like this. I wish I could be able to do more of it, you know, but unfortunately I have to.
You have to grind.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. You know, maybe one day there's going to be a professional club in Zurich, and then everything will be easier, you know.
Oh yeah, maybe that professional club would be main sponsored by BÖLLE. Who knows?
Who knows? Or we will own our own club. Anything is possible, you know.
Anything is possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about the good experiences that you've had overall, just from BÖLLE, like big from camps. And of course, I know you couldn't go directly there to Guinea because, well, you were too busy in the finals. So, yeah. Any cool anecdotes?
Yeah. I wish you could ask Malik, but like how, I don't know. Like
get him on the podcast. I'll interview him.
Yeah, I will. You know how he would describe the joy of the kids in Africa when they were able to go, and because they were all watching, they were like curious, what is it, you know? And then when the coach said go, like they ran, they were so happy, and this joy to see like barefoot, you know, it's we can't compare it. We don't even know if they have a toothbrush, you know, it's ridiculous. Crazy in the 21st century it still exists, but just to see this joy and that they were just truly in the moment, I think that was something incredible. And I didn't witness it, but he did. But I know that, like, just him, because he's from there, so him telling that was like very, very beautiful, and I'll probably never forget, hopefully, you know.
Yeah,
that was amazing. And then for me, it's always very deep at the camp, you know, when the camp is over and then the kids come and the parents come and they like beg for another week, or they can't wait, you know, to do it again. And so I think that's the best feeling there is, you know, because it means you're doing a great job and there is real emotions involved, you know. Like I have times to not, like I have hard times to not cry, you know. I have to try to be this cool coach, you know, but I'm like, damn, this is really like deep, you know. So things like this are really have been just amazing. What like one little decision on a couch at like 12 p.m. can bring you to, you know. Of course, all the engagement on social media and all the people that have bought and said great things, they just make you push you to do
I
more.
want to buy those socks, man. They look fire.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I think that. I don't. Yeah, I think that's. Of course, there's more things. I just can't really pick what are. But these are definitely two things that like are just amazing. Yeah.
How do you feel the coaching should be like towards kids? Because I know I've been through like some clubs, not a lot of them, but I've played for some clubs, and it's every time I ended up losing a little bit of the joy for basketball. So how do you go for the kids? Because I don't know if you agree with me, but I feel like you should always put joy first, and then the rest when it comes to basketball camps for kids. I don't know if you agree, or what's your point of view on that?
No, definitely joy is joy. If someone likes to do something, they will do it often and try to become better at it. I don't know. At my camp, I always, even the newer coaches, it shouldn't just be a fun camp. I want to find joy in hard work and in becoming like fascinating about seeing progress. Like I want a kid to figure out how to do a left-handed layup, and stuff like this. So I mean, this is a quote from my friend Mike Carlson. But like, you want to make sure that the kids fall in love with the game, and falling in love with the game means everything, not just scoring. Also the suicides, the grinds, the wall sits. So when I coach, or when I try to preach, or to be our like mindset during the camp or in general with younger people, when they ask me, is just to just become passionate about it, become obsessed with it, and then because then it's not, then you won't lose joy. Like even me now, like I love lifting and doing like sprints. Like this is not, oh, I hate this and I can't, like, what I mean? It's just even tactics, like you just fall in love with the game, and even the coach's decision to bench you or to yell at you or whatever, this is all just part of it. And if this is your passion, then joy will never leave. But of course, there is certain coaches that have a different philosophy, that maybe just drill you, they don't show emotions, whatever. But I definitely think at a young age, it's very important to just make them fall in love with the game. Of course, playing is important. Like playing, that's the main reason why we do it.
Yeah.
To play the game. So a lot of 1v1, 2v2, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, competition, all these things are very important than just to do a 1,000 dribble workout routine,
Yeah, of course. What do you think about confidence, instilling already confidence of being able to do what you do in practice on the court? I feel like that's such an underrated skill. That's something that I talk a lot with my friends that play basketball. How, like, do you already harness confidence at early years, or is it more as you progress and then you start finding that niche of like finding yourself well and confident?
Yeah, it's a good question. Because there is like players, they like, for example, Bogdanovic from Atlanta, like he needs to shoot 1,000 shots, otherwise he can't shoot. He can't sleep. Like he needs this, and and then you have players like Milos Teodosic. He doesn't work out at all, and he just has it all in his head. You know what I mean? So there's Kobe Bryant, who was a workaholic, and Jordan, and then other guys. They're so. I honestly think confidence comes from whatever you think will get you there. So if you think you just need to rest your body and to be mentally at a good place to play the game at a high level, and that's it. I don't think there's a rule. It's so individual. It's like nutrition. I don't think there's a strict rule what is the best for you. Some people are perfectionists. They, like Ray Allen, they need a certain routine and do this, then they feel really good going into a game, and then the game comes and they still shoot 0 for 8. It's really a odd thing. But I think confidence is simply, actually, it's just don't quit.
Right.
So if you keep going, just don't quit. because the good things will follow. We're humans. We will adapt. We will find. We will survive. But if you stop,
Right.
then you lose everything. If you keep going, that's confidence too, to keep going, to be an optimist, to be like, oh, coach doesn't play me, I'm missing shots, but I'm trying, I will find a way to succeed.
Absolutely.
That's it. And that's, I think, a million stories have been like this, that might be the simple ingredient to success and confidence.
So is that your ingredient for confidence? Or how do you feel confident for a game? Like what is like, all right, I'm going to kill this. I know I'm going to.
I don't know. I just go into the game and like, it's like you're thrown into this environment, and then it's like, who will react the fastest and survive the fastest?
Yeah, of course.
So I like analyze. I'm like, okay, this is what I can do. This is what I can do. This is what I should do. And then just let the game come to me, I was never really the guy who's going to be like, all right, I'm going to score the first 10 points, It's like, oh, he went under the screen. I can shoot a 3. He's playing aggressive defense. Maybe I can go by him. It's just you read and react,
Mm.
But confidence is there because all the time you have put into your skill and all the time you've been going, So.
All right, dog. I have some quick hitters for you. Just out of my mind, what comes? Basel, Geneva, or Zurich?
As a city?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love each. They give me own little satisfactions, like I'm a big techno guy. So for me, Basel is great for going out. Zurich is great because it's the biggest and it has so many different people. Of course, my friends and home is there. And then Geneva is like a new world for me. I always feel like I'm vacation. It's a different language, so close to France. Architecture is different, so it gives me this new culture, new world. Also, I love the different foods, and it's great. I really, for me, you can put me anywhere. I will be happy in these 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in Superior, Wisconsin, maybe 30,000 people, and I had a blast. So sometimes it's not really the place; it's really you.
Yeah, I can definitely understand.
But if you
that.
want me to be specific, I would go. It's still early, but definitely Zurich above Basel, and we will wait where Geneva will be. Ask me in a year, and I'll give you an answer. German
or French?
I think French sounds better. But Absolutely. Of course, I have to speak German.
Yeah. How's your French? Have you been learning any French there, or is it just
English
and German?
I'm not yet. I mean, I'm trying whenever I go to like supermarket or like at a restaurant, I try to speak French.
Yeah.
But we couldn't do this podcast in French. But I'm taking classes soon. But of course, I will pick German.
D3 or First League Zurich, First League of Switzerland?
The level?
Just the joy. Of course, the level is going to be higher here.
Equal, I can't say. Like both have been amazing times, They both have, you have the college life, with the college lifestyle and the great facilities in the US in general, the size of it. And then here you have more the professional area, and you play with grown men. So I would say both.
Serbia, Switzerland, or the US in orders of basketball or overall?
Basketball-wise, I will say Serbia. I just like the style better. I like the IQ plays, the shooting. I like that. And in general, I pick Switzerland. Switzerland is my home. Switzerland is where I feel home. Switzerland is the best. I'm so honored to have been able to be born here without choice. Like it's just the best country to be in.
Yeah, I dig that. What's it with you Serbian players and being good at basketball?
It's just tradition,
Is it tradition over there, like playing basketball? Is it
yeah,
really big?
it's the number one sport, I would say.
All right. And maybe last one, I don't know, Kobe or Jordan?
Jordan.
And then Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right.
No question, no arguments needed.
You're really into like Jordan is the greatest of all time?
Absolutely.
All right, Vid, thank you very much for your time. It was a blast.
Of course.
I won't take way more because I know it's getting super late, but I appreciate your time. It was very interesting. Your story is amazing, and I wish you all the best for your journey in Geneva, getting all those minutes, and keep the grind hard, So yeah.
I really appreciate it. We finally did it. I know I totally forgot about everything, but I'm glad we did it. If you would have asked me 2 weeks before, I would have done it. So I'm glad we did
absolutely.
And great questions. I think it was a very interesting chat. And I hope, like I said at the beginning, I hope this will, bring a couple laughters and a couple inspirations to the crowd. So let me know when you post it, and I can post it on both channels. Also, thanks for doing things like this. Switzerland needs this, and this is great. I support everybody who does something on their own, because when I feel passion, I support it. So keep doing it, man. If you ever need help, questions, or if you have ideas for us, you have my number. So
This was Well Above the Rim. I'm your host, Nico Montoya. Thank you, Vid, and the BÖLLE ISCH LEBE family for the podcast. It was a lot of fun. Follow the podcast on IG at Well Above the Rim. Don't forget to follow and rate the podcast. See you next time.